So I wanted to cover some potential compensation scenarios for Audi Brooklyn to compensate me for this wreck that they sold me, willingly. They'd actually always intended to send it to auction, but when they found that they could sell it to me at full retail price, they did. So I wanted to show you the docs here, the sales docs. I mean, I was using this software to block myself out so I don't dox myself. But this is the document here. And I'll show you a clearer document here. That's what I paid altogether. Let's take a look here and something a little clearer. Here's the document here, and I paid $12,080, and then I also paid another $1,650 to ship it from Audi Brooklyn in Brooklyn to myself here in Fargo, North Dakota. So then I'm going to take a look at some other details. So here's a part of the contract. Notice to used vehicle buyer. If this motor vehicle is classified as a used motor vehicle, dealer named under certifies that the entire vehicle is in condition and repaired to render under normal use, satisfactory and adequate service upon the public highway at the time of delivery. And then it talks about airbags here. Absolutely not. I mean, there's so many problems with this vehicle. I mean, you got problems with the suspension, you got problems, the water pump is leaking and making terrible racket. The transmission seal is shot. So if you were to drive this any distance, I mean, you're going to start, without repairing, these problems are there. You're going to ruin the engine or you're going to ruin the transmission. So this is a clear violation, of the contract. Here's another part of the contract. Like this part here. We have not made any more promises than what is on the order. Yeah. Mark Nipanishi said, everybody wants to buy this car. I got to hide the keys. And, he said this multiple times. The other thing is that he led me to believe and told me that all it needed was a belt and a battery. And of course, there's all kinds of problems with it. And there's $10,000 worth of damages. So this is again a violation of their contract. State law requires that any seller of a second-hand car certify in writing to the buyer that each car is in safe condition at the time of sale. This certification is a guarantee that the car is in safe condition at the time of sale. And then it talks about the lemon laws, and you can of course look at my other video on the lemon laws here, right? So again, this is a violation of the contract. It is not in safe condition. There's far too many problems with it. If I were to drive at any distance, I would either self-destruct the engine or self-destruct the transmission. So not safe, and again, a violation of their contract. So here are some potential compensation scenarios I've thought of that Audi Brooklyn could compensate me for what they did here, for all the problems of the vehicle and also their fraud. Of course, we looked at how much should I pay for it, just to reiterate. Okay, this is what I sent to them. This would have paid for shipping. Total just under $14,000, $13,730. Now, if they were to just compensate me via the repairs that we came up with, the estimate by Corwin Toyota for the mechanical repairs, $62.65. The estimate by Corwin Collision for all the collision repairs, just under $4,000, $39.54. Subtotal $10,000 to $219. But since then, of course, we found out about these battery issues that are electrical. I mean, the batteries keep self-destructing every 2 or 3 months. So I know electrical is more difficult than mechanical to diagnose and figure out what's going on. You can't see if something's broken or not. You got to put your instruments on there. I'm guesstimating that to fix this, it's going to be about $1,000. So total repair expense, if they're going to compensate me that way, would be $11,219. The other way I thought of, how can they compensate me? Well, they had always originally intended to send the vehicle to auction, but then they sold it to me for the full retail price. So okay, well, it was only worth, what would it have been worth at auction? I'm guesstimating that it would have only been worth $2,000. I mean, when you look at all the repairs that it had to do. So, total sale price, $13,730 minus $2,000 that they would have got at auction. The difference to me would be $11,730. Insurance expense. So even though the vehicle is not able to be driven, it's just sitting in the garage. I got the vehicle, about mid-June 2025. It's been another 5 weeks in 2026 here so far, a subtotal of about 33 weeks. My annual insurance premium is not that much. It's only for this vehicle. It's only about $513. So if we prorate it for that time period, $325 dollars out of my pocket just to park this thing in the garage, right? Because they'd sold it to me. They sold a wreck to me. Other expenses that I've done with this vehicle, And again, I wouldn't have had these expenses had I not bought it. Vehicle inspection, so $216 for Corwin Toyota to do the inspection. Had another friend of mine, do another inspection. They basically confirmed what Corwin Toyota did. The battery, bought a battery at Costco to get the thing running again, and of course that one self-destructed within a few months, $140. This computer equipment to make all the videos, had to get a computer, had to get a video card, had to upgrade the power supply, $600, relatively cheap, compared to what you can spend on a lot of computers. Subtotal in this, $1,031. Opportunity costs. Now, I took money out of my investment accounts to buy this, and this is money that's not appreciating, because it's out of my investment accounts now, and it's not even, I'm just talking simple interest here at 5%, prorated into this time frame. We're looking at $435. At 10%, we're looking at $871. So the direct and indirect expenses, the insurance expense $325, other expenses, $1,031, the opportunity costs $435. Total here just under $1,800, $1,791 here. But what really irks me is my time. Buying this vehicle has ruined my summer, it's ruined my fall, it's ruined my winter. And okay, if I put a value to my time, what are we looking at? It's 33 weeks, assuming, you're looking at 10 hours a week. I'm conservatively estimating, because, I've had to do a lot of fighting with I was trying to use my older, equipment to do these videos. Didn't want to work, so I had to buy another machine, and then I had to get it all configured and working, and then I had to get the software to work. And you look at some of these videos, okay, they're 6 minutes long. However, that might have taken me an entire weekend to do, because I don't speak all that well. Okay, let's redo it. Let's make sure I do it the right time, or do it right the first time. You've probably seen some subtitles in some of those videos, and I want to make corrections rather than redoing it all. So 33 weeks, 10 hours a week, assume $20 an hour, you're looking at about $6,600 of my time, and I think that's pretty conservative. So when I'm looking at total compensation, for all these, all because of this, right? If we look at repair expense, insurance expense, other expenses, opportunity cost in my time, we're looking at just under $20,000, $19,610 that, I see that this has cost me. Or I need to spend in order to fix. So given all that, I want the vehicle for free, and I hope that the lawyers at Audi Brooklyn will make that happen.